week on CWN, one of our swimmers went to state.
And our sports are doing amazing so far. I'm Kendall.
I'm Nathan, and today is Saturday, February 19th, 2022. And you're watching Calallen Wildcat News Weekly Review. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another week of our weekly review here, and we have a whole lot going on here at the high school, both academically and athletically. But let's go ahead and get started this week with something that sounds pretty pleasant.
Definitely. One of our choir students, KRISTV, qualified for all-state choir and attended an event for it recently. We caught up with our choir teacher, Miss McCallie, and Aaron for all of the information on the event. Let's take a look.
What's up, Calallen TV? I'm Sebastian here with Miss McCallie. Miss McCallie, how does it feel to have an all-state choir student?
Well, it feels really good. It feels like I've accomplished something as a director, because it's really difficult for students to make the all-state choir, and it just makes me really happy for my student, because it's a really good experience, and then I also get to go to the convention and have a lot of fun.
What's up, Calallen TV? I'm Sebastian here with Aaron KRISTV. Aaron KRISTV recently qualified for the state team. So what qualified you for that?
Yeah, so I qualified for the all-state treble choir. So in January, I competed in the all-state area choir audition, which basically meant that schools from about San Antonio to Laredo competed against each other in an audition in order to get into the state choir, and the top 9 people would be able to make state, and I was able to get 5th chair. So I was able to qualify, and most recently what happened was that I I sang in the choir.
And what does the all-state team do?
So basically, now that I've made the all-state treble choir, it's an all-women's choir group, and all of these people from across the state of Texas came together to sing a concert that was very prestigious and take place in San Antonio. We sang all types of repertoire. We sang chant pieces. We sang very classical type stuff, very, very cutting edge, sort of women empowerment type pieces. And if they're showing footage, it's likely of rehearsals and not the concert, rather. And it was just absolutely fantastic. It's very hard to get in, and I was just very privileged to be able to. And
what's next for you?
Well, unfortunately, this is going to be my last time trying to compete for TMEA, so it was very, very nice to finally be able to make state. But next year, I'm going to be competing to get into the college of my choice with musical theater with my auditions. Not really associated with TMEA, but very hopeful about that.
And that's all from us. Back to the studio.
And, it's really cool to see one of our students doing really good in the choir. I definitely would never be an all-state choir, so it's really, really awesome for her. And congratulations, Aaron.
Definitely, exact same there. I don't have a singing bone in my body, so it's definitely a great accomplishment for her.
And another one of our students, Kenneth Dornack, recently participated in a clay busting competition in Houston, Texas. Maya interviewed him to gain more insight on clay busting and the upcoming competition he has. Let's check it out.
Hey guys, I'm here with Kenneth, who's a member of our Calallen Clay Busters. Can you tell us more about this?
So Clay Busters is a club where you have to shoot in Nueces County for 2 years, and then you have to go through a class at Calallen your freshman year, and then you can shoot for Clay Busters all 4 years of high school. And Clay Busters is a good organization. We have around 7 people right now that shoot, and most of the shoots that we have, like such as the Houston Rodeo, the San Antonio Rodeo, FFA State, all sorts of things like that. It's a really fun thing to do.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, that sounds really fun. So can you tell us about the shoot last week in Houston?
So the shoot last week in Houston, it was a 2-day shoot. I only shot sporting clays. It was really fun. It's a hard course. Like, not a lot of people do good. It's challenging. The best of the best come out of there. And I placed 36 out of 228 out of all of the high schools that competed at Houston this year with a 74 out of 100.
Okay, well, that's awesome. And can you tell us about the meet coming up in San Antonio?
On Thursday, we're heading up to San Antonio for about 4 days to shoot the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo shoot. And I'll be coming back Sunday from that shoot. Hopefully I'll make finals and shoot Sunday. But that's about all. It's a fun shoot. It goes on for a while. A lot of scholarships involved, a lot of guns given away, a lot of belt buckles. They give tons of money out to these kids that just need the money for college. It's nice.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll have more information about the shoot in San Antonio. And that's all from us. Now back to the studio.
And we are going to take a quick pause in the action, but we will be right back after these short messages.
Come explore Calallen ISD, a place where teachers care for students and encourage them to explore their full potential with confidence and enthusiasm. At Calallen, our extracurricular activities frequently compete at the state level, and thanks to our dedicated faculty and staff and our innovative use of technology in the classroom, we rank #1 academically in all of South Texas. Just off of Interstate 37 and a short 20-minute drive from downtown Corpus Christi, come join us at Calallen, where winning is a tradition.
You know, even with the choir, I can't shoot either, and so that is definitely something that we're super proud of.
Well, I do think I could outshoot you. I definitely have tried to outshoot Kenneth before on the trapeze skeet course, and he always outdoes me. So it's really good to see him participating and doing well, and keep knocking him dead.
And now we're going to move on to chemistry with Mrs. John's AP chemistry class, who had a lab earlier this week. Cooper talked to her about this lab and what all her class did while conducting it. Let's take it to Cooper with a rundown.
I'm here with Miss Johns, who had an AP chemistry lab today. What did y'all do?
Well, we're studying the unit on equilibrium. Hi, guys. And in your first year chemistry class that you might have taken, we just made the assumption that all reactions went to completion. But in actuality, that's not true for most reactions. They actually will go back to reactants, and they reach a level called equilibrium, where the rate of the forward reaction is equal to the rate of the reverse. I know, enough chemistry talk. I get that. So what I was showing them today is a principle called Le Chatelier. It's Le Chatelier's principle, and it says that if you put a stress on a system, which is a reaction, you can force the reaction to go either towards products, which is the forward reaction, or back towards reactants, which would be the reverse reaction. And so both of the reactant had a certain color, which is pink, and then our product in this reaction was blue. And as we either changed concentration, you could see the shift from pink to blue, or even purple in the middle when it was kind of in the middle. And that was by changing concentrations of reactions. We could either force the reaction forward, or we could force the reaction back. And we also can do that with temperature, because there's energy in reactions. And as you add temperature or take temperature away, which is what we did, we either used a hot water bath or a cold water bath, you could see that because of that, it would also cause the reaction to flip back or to speed up towards products, and you would see a blue color, or go back towards reactants, which was a pink color, trying to either increase energy in the reaction or take away energy in the reaction. And so it was a really good experiment, I think, for the kids. We got pretty good results today, and so hopefully it helped to kind of explain that. It took our things we do in class and actually made it more hands-on for them. So hopefully, I'm hoping they got something out of that.
Yeah. It's always good to see chemical concepts that are pretty abstract in person. Thank you.
Thank you, Cooper.
Yeah, that's all from here. Back to the studio.
You know, I participated in that lab, and we went over the Le Chatelier's principle, and it was really cool to see the liquid change from purple, pink, blue out of nowhere. So that was really neat.
For sure. And Trinity spoke to Miss Barker and Miss Tapia about truancy and the policies on that. Let's send it to them for all the information you need to know on coming to school.
Hey everyone, I'm Trinity here with Miss Tapia and Miss Parker. So we heard about truancy. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, truancy, guys, really has to do with your attendance. And if you get 3 absences or more, it's usually more, but 3 is all it takes. And that means you don't have an excuse. You have to have an excuse, either a parent note, a student activity, medical, doctor, sent home by the nurse. Your absences need to be marked besides an A. The A's means absent with no excuse, and that makes you truant.
Yikes. And why is it so important for the students to remember this?
Yeah, well, and basically it is important, guys, because you don't want to go to court. You will be fined $500. Your parents will be fined $500. It is a state law that, again, that you are in school 90% of the time. So besides truancy, you're going to have makeup hours and you're going to lose credit. So y'all, attendance, this is a paper that we have in the front office, and it has 5 bullets about your attendance. It has to do with truancy, VOE, which is verification of enrollment. You can't drive if you're not in school 90% of the time. You're not going to be able to get a driver's license. And we look at your attendance from the last semester. So many things besides getting an education, getting credit, moving on, and going to court. Those are all about attendance.
And this is very important for all the students to remember, right? So they can be here at school, and if you aren't here, then make sure you have an excuse from a doctor or your parents.
Yeah, come to school. Come to school.
And that's all from me. Now back to the studio.
And we have an update on Mrs. Compton's CAD class. Kate spoke to her about what all of the class is currently doing. Let's take a look.
Good morning, Wildcats. I'm here with Ms. Compton. She's the teacher for the CAD drafting class here on the Calallen campus. So, Ms. Compton, can you just give us a little insight of what CAD is?
Yes, so CAD actually stands for Computer Aided Drafting, and you can make 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional drawings using a computer-aided software.
Yes, ma'am. So I took the class for 2 years personally. It's very good for engineering. It's actually really helpful, and I still use it to this day. So, Ms. Compton, can you just let us know what you were working on in there?
Yes, so today what you guys were watching is the first year drafting students were learning how to create 3D models using an AutoCAD program, and AutoCAD is one of many drafting programs that you can use.
Yes, ma'am. Well, that's a little bit about AutoCAD. Thank you so much, Ms. Compton, for giving us an insight. So one last thing we forgot to mention is with that CAD drafting program, there's actually a certification you can get. With that certification, after 2 years of the course, you're able to take a certification test and actually apply for engineering scholarships. And you can actually get a job with that starting anywhere from $30 up per hour. It's a really good experience. If you haven't taken CAD, I highly recommend it. That's all from us. Now back to the studio.
And we're going to have more news for y'all after this quick commercial break.
Sonic, America's Drive-In is the fast food restaurant that isn't that far from the school, that has the best foods out there. If you need a place to go and eat, go to Sonic, America's Drive-In.
And now we're going to go ahead and change things up a little bit. Let's take it to Aaron with the Rundown on Sports.
Thank you, Nathan. Good morning, Wildcats. We do have a lot going on in the world of sports. We're going to start with powerlifting. Our powerlifting team lifted at Gregory Portland last Thursday. Our girls placed 2nd overall, and our boys placed 3rd overall. This last Thursday, so a couple days ago, we hosted a dual meet for our boys, and we will have more on that next week, while we also did have the girls qualifiers for region. This prior Thursday, we had our send-off for our very own Jenny Pickens to state. She competed yesterday in her relays. We will have those results for you next week. Our Lady Cats basketball team fought hard in the bi-district matchup against Lafayette, where our Lady Cats came up short, losing by 3. Congrats on the successful season, ladies. We got Coach Spencer's closing thoughts of the 2021-2022 season. Let's hear from him.
Hi, it's Maddie with Calallen TV, and I'm here with Coach Spencer. So I know this is your first year at Calallen, and how do you feel to make the playoffs your first year?
It's cool. It's exciting for the girls, exciting for the community. It's kind of an expectation for us to get there. So, making the playoffs is kind of a baseline, and that's what we kind of hope for it to be, where we go into the season knowing that that's going to happen. And the question is, how far are we going to go? So it's just about building, and this is a good first step.
And I know you'll have a really young team, so you'll have a really bright future ahead of y'all. How do you feel like the future years will hold up for y'all?
Yeah, if we continue to grow and develop, and when we started, 3 sophomores, a freshman, junior, we've got just about everybody coming back. We've got 2 seniors that we'll miss dearly, but I know and trust our younger kids will step up, and it's just about the amount of work they're willing to put in this spring, this summer, to continue to grow, and hopefully we got a taste of it this year and what success is like, and then we can continue to build on that.
And I know you had a Caller Times article posted about you. How do you feel about that?
It was cool, getting some recognition, not just for me, but for my dad and everything he's taught me and everything that we've done together and the relationship we have. It was cool to read and cool to get that out there, and I'm just incredibly thankful for that opportunity to have grown up around him with other coaches and to learn those things and implement them here.
Okay, well, thank you, Coach Spencer. Now back to the studio.
Our Lady Cat soccer team stays sweeping the competition in district, where they slapped Ingleside 14-0 last Friday. They went on to defeat London 11-0, and the highlight, Jillian Curtis had 5 goals to her name. We spoke to Coach Love and Laramie about Tuesday's game. Let's hear it from the duo.
Hi, my name is Mia. I'm here at Calallen TV, and I'm here with Laramie. So, Laramie, I know that y'all played an amazing game last night, and I know that you also played goalie. Did you see the ball a lot in last night's game?
Last night, first half, I saw the ball a little bit, but not too much, not too bad. But second half, we found our rhythm a little more, and I didn't get to touch the ball at all. So I was really excited about that.
So I know that it can be really cold during your game, and I know that you just stand in the back. And how do you stay motivated to cheer on your team even though you're cold?
Just keeping up with the play that's happening, imagining what they're gonna do, try and encourage them as much as I can by talking to them and saying man on whenever there's a man on left or right, or just being directional in the back.
And lastly, what's your favorite thing about being goalie?
I love being the safety net of the team. If they need me in the back, I'm there, but I just try and provide as much support as I can. That's what I really love about it.
I'm here with Coach Love. So Coach Love, I know that y'all played a really good game last night. So as a coach, I know that it gets really chaotic. What are some things that keeps your mind in the game?
I think the biggest thing is we do a lot as a coaching staff to prepare for the games beforehand, talk about starting positions, and then what are we going to do if this happens or that sort of stuff. And so I think it's preparing before we get to the game that we try to do as a coaching staff all together with the three of us. And then also talking with the girls as well and kind of knowing where's their mind, where's their head, where are they focused and what are they focused on doing as well. So I think for us, that's kind of what we do to try to stay focused in on the game and what's at hand. At the same time, we also, as a coaching staff, we are all in on the game. All three of us, you'll see all three of us running up and down the field. And at times then, if things are getting chaotic or whatever, we'll a lot of times come together and kind of try to think through, what if we did this or what if we did that, what would happen. So,
well, congratulations to y'all. Now that's all for me. Now back to the studio.
We will have the results for yesterday's game next week. The boys soccer team completed the first round of district play where they beat Ingleside and stumbled against London, tying 1-1. Our boys played Santa Cachulas last night. We will have more on that next week. The boys basketball team win streak ends at 4 where they beat Toloso at Toloso and clinched their spot in the playoffs, but here at home they lost to Kingsville in their last home game. They played Zapata last night. They're in Zapata. We will have results for that game next week. Our whole track team went to compete in their first track meet yesterday. Yet we have Brooklyn Miter who placed first out of 19 schools in her very first track meet for discus.
I'm here with Coach Gonzalez, who was at the track meet last Saturday with his 3 discus throwers. How'd y'all do?
We did pretty well. We've had a lot of good practices over the last few weeks. Took 2 boys and a girl. The girl, Brooklyn Miter, she ended up winning her first district varsity track meet with a throw of 112 feet 6 inches. She was pretty excited about that. She ended up getting 6 in shot put also. And then I had a couple boys throwing. One of them got 6th place. Evan Eaton got 6th place. So we did pretty good.
Yeah. I'm here with Brooklyn Metter, who threw discus at the track meet last Saturday. How'd you do?
I did pretty good. It was my personal best for me. I got 112.5 feet, which it was first out of 19 schools. And yeah, it was pretty good.
So how long have you been throwing discus?
I've been throwing for probably a year and a half, 2 years.
And you're just a freshman, right?
Yes, I am. Just freshman.
Well, that's pretty good. First place out of 19 schools. All right. That's all from here. Back to the studio.
Our softball team showed promise with a hot 6 in their first matchup of the season against Victoria East, where they came up victorious 10-4 despite a power outage. We have more on that game. Let's take a look.
Hi, it's Maddie with Calallen TV, and I'm here with Brianna. So softball had our first game last night against Victoria East. How do you think that went for y'all?
It went really great. We did have a lot of new players and new positions, and they just proved that they have the ability to play that position, and we're just going to get better.
And how do you think you pitched last night, because I know you're a pitcher?
I think I pitched fairly well. I can always be better at something, but.
And how do you think that this game is going to, prepare y'all for y'all's season?
It gives our coaches a good idea where we're at defensively, hitting-wise, just showing where our weaknesses are and what we need to do to get better to have a good season.
Here with Brooklyn. So I know softball had a game last night. How do you think that went for y'all?
I think we did really good for our first game, and we can always improve on stuff.
And I know you're a starting catcher as freshman. How do you feel about that, and how have you worked towards that?
I've been working really hard, and it's been really fun, and I know I can always improve on it, but it was fun yesterday.
Okay, well, thank you, Brooklyn. Now back to the studio.
Thank you, Aaron. I'll be taking over this segment of the slides. The Lady Cats were holding their annual Calallen Classic where they performed well this Thursday and Friday. Today they'll be playing at 1 and again at 3. The baseball team continues with their preseason play in the scrimmages against Victoria, where they are victors and a clash against Ray. Kate interviewed me about my commitment to the A&M Kingsville to go play football. I got recruited to be a tackle, so let's hear what he has to say.
Good morning, Wildcats. I'm here with Curtis Brooks. Curtis announced his commitment to Texas A&M Kingsville this past weekend. So, Curtis, congratulations, and just give us a little insight about what your visit was like and how happy you are going to be there.
Well, definitely. First off, thank you. It was crazy being back down there again. You know, I grew up in Kingsville. I was down there for about 10 years. I spent most of my life there, actually. So it was good to be able to come back home, and I really liked what the coaches had to say and the campus. You know, it just felt like I was back home, and it was a really good campus tour. I like you know, my dorms and everything. It was just a really nice campus.
All right. With that being said, I know they're recruiting you to play offensive line. What do you have to do to get ready for this upcoming season?
Well, definitely, I'm gonna have to start grinding right now. Actually, all the work starts now. You know, I can't go in there unathletic. I have to go in there, you know, and be somewhat in shape. So they're definitely gonna whip me into shape, but I'm gonna start working out now.
All right. Well, congratulations once again. The future's bright for you, and we look forward to being able to keep up with you and watch you as you go on throughout your journey. That's all from us. Now back to the studio.
And that's the latest on sports. Now back to the anchors.
Thank you, Aaron. And we have a whole lot going on with sports. You know, like they said, Brooklyn's doing really good with track and as well as softball. And Jenny going to state. That's pretty awesome. And then also Curtis signing with Kingsville. That's really cool. He puts a lot of work into our Calallen TV staff. He's been a good buddy of mine for a long time. So congrats, Curtis, and good luck in your future endeavors. Well, now let's see what the weather's looking like here in the Coastal Bend. Let's throw it to Jolie. What's in store for us today, Jolie?
Thank you, anchors, and good morning, Wildcats. Today's weather is brought to you by Sonic, America's Drive-In. Outside, it is 53 degrees with no chance of rain and some northeast winds blowing at 9 miles per hour. As our day continues, our temperatures are rising to the mid-60s, warming up from those 40-degree temperatures we woke up to this morning. Some east winds blowing at around 10 miles per hour. Closing out our weekend, our temperatures are rising to the low 70s all the way to the low 80s on Monday, so warming up, kind of like our temperatures from this previous week. Our chance of rain is minimal, and some southeast winds are picking up to 21 miles per hour come Monday. There are 92 days until graduation. Back to the anchors. Well, thank you very much, Jolie. Definitely a good weather segment.
Yeah, and that's all we have for you today, but now it's time for your joke of the day. So, guys, what has 4 wheels and flies?
I don't know, Nathan. What?
A garbage truck.
And for all of you social people out there, make sure you are following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at CalallenTV for all of the latest updates. Also, subscribe to us here on YouTube to catch all of our latest videos, and I'll see you next week.
And as always,
stay classy, Calallen.